Do you ever just like walk into a convenience store, buy a lotto ticket, and wonder how much money is the actual owner of that convenience store making off that lotto ticket that you're buying? Or are they making any money off of it? And how much money are they really making at the convenience shop? Well, I have no idea because I don't own a convenience shop, but I was always curious. And I'm so glad that recently I was stuck in this lineup with a really nice gentleman that owns a convenience store, and we got to talking, and luckily he gave me the tea on all this detail on owning a convenience shop in Canada. So this convenience store is specifically in Toronto. So if you want to find out about owning a convenience store in LA or in another country, then you're definitely going to have to do your own DD. And as always, never financial advice. Do your own research and let's get started. So first off, I don't think people find it as normal, I guess, as I do. I just feel really comfortable talking about finances, hence why I talk about stocks and crypto on the internet, but I understand that it's not like the norm in our society. So I'm really thankful when people are happy to chat and teach things. So I think also if you ever meet somebody that's in a field that you have an interest in, even if you don't want to own a convenience store, but you just want to know the details of it, the finances and how people got started, I think it's nice to just let them know right off the bat. That's why you're asking why you are curious, because when I started talking to this guy, I told him that I've always been curious because I buy a lot of lotto tickets. So I told him that I've always been curious when I walk into a convenience store and I buy lotto tickets, are they even getting a cut? Because I know in America, I've asked some convenience store owners, do you guys get some money if I were to win $1 million? And usually the answer is yes. In LA, at least, I've heard from many convenience store owners that they said if I win a grand prize, then they get a small portion, but they never really told me exactly how much percentage or if it's a capped price. So when I asked this really nice Canadian convenience shop owner who also has a lotto system there, so they have their own lotto tickets in Canada. It's $6.49 Lotto Max. $6.49, I bought one. It's about $3 Canadian, and then Lotto Max is about $5 Canadian. So I guess it's kind of around the same, because in the US, we have our Powerballs, and those are $2 USD, and then Super Lotto is $1, and with the current exchange rate, which is amazing for Americans, because $1 USD is about $1.40 right now in Canadian numbers. So yeah, anyways, he was telling me that in terms of if I were to win $1 million, or if I won $50 million Canadian, buying a ticket at his shop, then in Canada, well, not in Canada, all of Canada, but specifically Toronto, I don't know about all the other provinces, but in Ontario, when you win, no matter how much, if I win $50 million or something like that with a lotto ticket, he says his store will be capped at a maximum win of about $100,000. So I guess even if I were to win 5 million or 1 million or 50 million, then he would get maximum only 100,000 Canadian, which I mean is still a lot of money. That's still great. But he told me, again, do your own DD, but he told me that he believes in Quebec of Canada, it's there's not a cap, so it's more of a commission base. You get you get a certain percentage of the total win of the customer. I personally think that's a better system. I think as the convenience shop owner, it'd be nicer to get a straight up percentage than just a maximum cap, of course. But I found that really interesting because I also asked because I don't know about in America, I don't know if they get a little bit of money off of every single transaction. If you do own a convenience store in America, let me know down in the comment section below. I love to learn about this stuff. And also I feel this is just good to know in case one day I want to own a convenience store. So I was telling him too that I think it's really interesting, and one of these days I would like to own my own shop, whether it's a convenience store or a boba shop or anything. Next, I asked him about, does he get any money from every single time he sells a ticket? And good thing is that they actually do make money. So I don't know if everybody does this everywhere in the world, but when there's a lotto system in his convenience store, if I go and buy a ticket, he gets 5% of that. So if I buy $1, he gets 5 cents of that. But he told me that that's not how his store makes the most amount of money, whereas some stores, some convenience stores, they're located in a specific spot where there's a lot of traffic for people buying lotto tickets, and those guys can make all of their money back, like their rent, and make a lot of money just all basically mainly thanks to the lotto system, which I think is pretty cool. Again, I guess that's no surprise, just like in real estate, it's always location, location, location. And then I asked them about like rent and generally like how much one can expect to make at the convenience store, right? As a convenience store owner. And he told me that rent is about like $6,000 a month, which is understandable. I know like the size of his shop, so it's like not the largest convenience shop, but it's big enough. Really like one person can run it, and he says that his wife usually runs it, which is good. I guess it's like within the family, because obviously you're gonna be paying more money once you hire more employees. But yeah, pretty much he says like crossing out the rent and all the other expenses, pretty much he can profit on good years, like about $100,000 a year. And then certain years you don't actually hit $100,000, so it just really depends on the year. Also, I thought this was a really cute fun fact, because I was telling him, I'm like, honestly, I only know one person in my life, like this is like a family member extended, and I was like, I only know one person that actually like won the lotto, and that's like in Asia. So I don't actually know anybody who won like the jackpot and like millions of dollars in the US or in Canada or in Europe or anything like that. I'm like, do you know people who actually like won like the largest prize like through you at your convenience store, or you know, like do you actually believe in it? And he told me that there's actually a lot of TTC workers that buy from him. And so TTC workers are like the metro of Toronto. So they like work in the subway or whatever, or they like drive the buses. And he told me he gets a lot of those customers, because I don't know if he didn't tell me like how many years it's been, but he says that like apparently a lot of them come because one of their coworkers, so another like TTC like metro worker, won like $10 million Canadian one time. So I guess it does happen. I just don't know these people personally. I've been to a lot of different convenience stores in like LA where they sell like anything from not even just lotto tickets, but also like fish and like balloons. Like there's just so many different types of convenience stores that sells different things. And then some of the most basic ones would just be like, okay, you get some water, some snacks, like those are just like your basic stuff. So his shop, I know like they do like photos, so like whether you want to get your passport done or anything like that, you could also like take photos there. I'm sure they probably had to get some type of license for that. I didn't specifically ask, but lotto, which you obviously like have to like sign up for as well. And I don't see any fish like in his shop or anything like that, but I think they also sell like cigarettes. There's just like a bunch of things that they do sell, but the actual size of it is not that large. So yeah, now I'm really curious, like for the shops that put in all that effort, like selling fish and like balloons and a whole bunch of other stuff, possibly claw machines, like is it worth it to just like have more things, maybe like a bigger shop, but then you're paying like more rent? Anyways, I'm just curious about that. Oh, and then so the tickets that I was telling you guys about, like those are like the big jackpot tickets where you can win like, I don't know, like $50 million or something, and you buy a ticket for like a flat fee of like $3 Canadian and stuff. But when people buy scratchers, he says they actually make like 8%, which makes so much more sense to me why maybe in Asia they were selling so many scratcher tickets. I don't know if that's how it works in Asia versus like Canada or in America, but I guess in like specifically Toronto, Ontario, the convenience shop owners get 8% commission if they sell you a scratcher ticket versus just like a lotto ticket where like, you know, it's just generating numbers and see if you can get those numbers. Anyways, always thankful for the kindness of strangers of chatting with me. I really enjoyed chatting with him and learning about, you know, just like all this detail about how it's like being a Canadian owning a convenience shop. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Follow me for more, and I wish you luck in all your endeavors. And I think there's just so much to learn, and then maybe as you learn, you're gonna realize like what you're interested in doing, or maybe you'll be doing something that you never thought you could do.